I'm joined today by Catherine Gowrie, the RD of Hill Hall. Now, Catherine, now that I have you here today, I was wondering if we could answer a few questions, like what is your position in Hill Hall?
So in Hill Hall, I'm what's formerly known as the resident director. I basically oversee the whole building, which is on average 250 students, and I oversee a staff of 7 resident advisors.
That's a lot of work for a lot of college students. How did you come upon the resident director position?
Actually, ironically enough, I was an RA at Rider University for 2.5 years, so moving into a RD position just seemed natural for me at the time. I had graduated a semester early during my undergrad, so I was actually fortunate enough to gain a position that typically isn't open mid-year. So I basically just jumped right in and got started.
Do you feel like you have a lot of advantages being a Rider student and moving into a position where you work so closely with them?
I mean, policy-wise, definitely. I know a lot of the policies inside and out just because I was here for so long prior to the position and I was enforcing policy in the position that I had. I think it also helps me relate to the students, saying that, I was Rider undergrad, I understand these policies and, what it's like to be a student. And typically, they're a little more, I guess, hearing or okay with what I have to say to them at that point.
What are some of the pros and cons of being a residency director at Rider University?
I mean, pros and cons are definitely vast. A lot of the pros that I have are that student interaction because I'm a people person, so I enjoy seeing students on a daily basis, whether it's for something positive or something that's a little less positive, such as a judicial hearing. I have about 4 to 5 meetings on average a day, and I'd say maybe half of them are for judicial reasons. So I like to take those maybe cons, if you would, and spin them into positives. So I like to make them a learning experience for the residents. I don't want to just sit there and reprimand them. As far as positives go, like I said prior, I'm a people person, so having that interaction on a daily basis is something that really keeps me going. So,
do you like your job at Rider University? Are you comfortable coming here every morning, just sitting at your desk and doing your job?
I love my job, honestly. I think I have a lot of freedom as to what I would like to do in my job, and I think that leaves me with an opportunity to grow myself. So again, being that I was here for 4 years, undergrad just about, and electing to stay here another 3, I think that means that you have to love what you do, or at least enjoy it almost on a daily basis.
All right, is there anything you would like to say to anyone who would be interested in a residence directory position at Rider?
I mean, definitely go for it. It might seem like a long process. I know RD Day was just this past week, and interviews can be scary, but it's definitely worth the interview and the nervous jitters, because once you get past that, you get to meet a great staff of people and you work with them so closely. I wouldn't replace it for the world.
Well, thank you very much, Catherine. I'm glad you could join me today. And we'll go back to the studio for our next news story.